Collapsing glaciers, dying animals, floods, droughts, and civilizations in jeopardy. Images now tied to climate change.
We're conducting a very large-scale experiment with the Earth.
In 1998, the United Nations formed the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change to study the risk of human-caused climate change.
In 1990, the IPCC released its first report, which found human activities were increasing greenhouse gases.
International summits like those in Rio de Janeiro in 1992 and Kyoto, Japan in 1997 kept the issue in front of scientists and policymakers. So what should we make of claims that the current warming trend is unprecedented?
Is the rate of warming really increasing? One of the so-called smoking guns for this theory, and we talked about this earlier, is the hockey stick graphic created in 1998 by Michael Mann and his colleagues. It got its name because it showed a long trend of steady temperatures followed by a steep increase. The steady trend looked like the shaft of a hockey stick, the increase like the blade. It was one of the first attempts at reconstructing a long-term temperature record using climate proxies, or natural records from phenomenon like tree rings, corals, ice cores, and sediments.
We were able to go back about 1,000 years, and based on the reconstruction of these long-term temperature trends, we deduced that, in fact, the most recent warming of the Earth, the warming of the past few decades, is outside of the range of the variability that we've seen over at least the past 1,000 years.
Critics have called Mann's hockey stick graph a fraud, flawed, or just wrong based on bad math.
It's not an exponential rise in temperature, it's a very constant rise. Anyone who says global warming is occurring at an increasing rate is wrong.
Pat Michaels says since warming began in 1975, brought about by human activities, the rate of warming has held steady.
He says as carbon dioxide is added to the air, each increment is less effective at causing warming. Basically, the first increases produce the most warming, subsequent ones produce less, resulting in future warming that follows a straight line. He says that's reassuring.